Hi, thanks for joining me today. So often, stepchildren need to process their losses and grief before they can fully move on into the stepfamily that you have formed. And it's well worth knowing how to help somebody process grief. I post once a week, so subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell and I'll let you know every time I post. One of the things about a stepfamily is it is often formed as a result of loss. Loss of what was there before. By definition, the family or families existed before the stepfamily formed. Those losses can be big. So often, as a step-parent, we are in a family situation where quite commonly other members of the family, the children particularly, are dealing with loss and grief. Now, how do you help somebody process their grief? I'm not telling you to try and take over the role of a professional counsellor or therapist if that's what's needed. But there are just a couple of things that might be useful for you to know. People say that time heals grief and people will get over it and they will move on. But time alone won't necessarily help recovery from grief. Grief needs to be processed as well. And what can you do to help people process grief? Well, one of the things is that when people tell you about their past and their grief, about stories about the person they've lost, or stories about the life that no longer exists. Those are ways people can process grief. If they tell another person, they can transfer the emotions and the feelings that they had in those times past to other people in the present. And if they decide to share stories and feelings with you, you can help them process their grief by listening to the story in an unhurried way, really understanding it and getting them to tell you not just what happened, but how they felt about things and how they feel about it now. If they do that, what they have done is transfer that love or those feelings they had for those times across to you. And if you do this for your stepchildren, and sometimes you can't because they never tell you these stories, but if they choose to share with you those kinds of stories, you can actually be part of the process of helping them come to terms with what's happened before and move on. So if it comes your way, it's a great gift and it's worth stopping what you're doing and paying attention and really helping that person empty out what they feel and think and share it with you, and so transfer those feelings to you, which helps them move on. It can really work and it's a real gift, but it can't always happen with a step-parent. But it's worth your while knowing as a step-parent that if it does happen, it really is an important part of the process of them moving on into this family. We run workshops, sessions, an email response service, and we write booklets. You can find links to our social media and website in the description box below.